All right. So for today, we're gonna get started laying down. I'm gonna give you guys a little treat this morning. We're gonna start laying down. I feel like I haven't started a class laying down in a while. When I was planning my class, I thought about you guys. I was like, oh, I've been started on the floor for so long. So stretching yourself out, adjusting your body to what's comfortable. We will start lying flat. Okay, so taking the feet hip width apart and then allowing the legs to fall out to the side. Relaxing those sit bones. So if you need to kind of lift the tailbone, drawing that tailbone towards the heels, and then lengthening that spine down, you absolutely can. Adjust so it's comfortable. Okay, tucking the shoulders under. Feeling the spine lengthen along the floor. Allow the arms to come down by your side. Palms face up to start. Chin slightly tucked. So you're going to bring the chin a little bit towards the chest so you feel the length in the back of the neck. Feel that length coming out through the crown of the head. I'm just finding that breath. Finding that connection. Feeling the body supported here. Allow the earth to take in the body. With each exhalation, sinking more and more into the ground. Allowing yourself to let go. Let go of the moments before this moment. And allowing yourself to be here. In the present moment. In the now. Focusing solely on the breath. Noticing what's going on in the body. And allowing the mind to quiet. Notice the thoughts that arise throughout the practice. As you notice them, let them go. Holding on to not one thought in particular. Returning back to your breath. Returning back to your practice. And feeling that connection with the body. Nice deep inhalation in here. Feel that inhalation from the base of the spine rise up through the belly. Expand the rib cage. Bring the breath into the chest, throat. Hold there for a moment. Relax the facial muscles. And then exhale, release. Exhale with a sigh if needed. Let go. Another nice deep inhalation in. Inhale right from the base of the spine. Rise up through the body. All the way up. Right to the top of the inhalation. Notice where you are holding any tension in the body. Exhale, release. Nice deep inhalation in. Inhale from the base of the spine, rise up again through that belly, expand the rib cage, chest, throat, right to the top of the inhalation, pause. And then exhale, side out. Let go of everything. Thoughts, tension, stress. Returning to a normal breath. Wiggle the toes, fingers. We're going to bring the legs together, press out through the heels, reach the arms overhead. Good morning stretch. Reaching long with the body. Opening up the front body, opening up the sides of the body. Nice deep inhalation in here. Feel that body rise up. Exhale, bring the knees in, hug and squeeze the knees into the body. Bring the head and neck to touch the knees. Exhale, release. Bring the hands back over the head, press out through the heels. Good morning stretch. Nice deep inhalation in here. Good. Exhale, bring knees into the chest. Head up towards the knees. Nice squeeze for the body. Exhale, release. Bring the hands back over the head. Press out through the heels. Another good morning stretch. Reach along with the body. Feel the length in the spine. Nice deep inhalation in. And then exhale, squeeze the knees in. Hug. Chin towards the knees. And then exhale. Back down, arms overhead. Good. Now bring the arms down by your sides. Bend the knees. Place the soles of the feet on the floor. From here, we're going to bring the bottoms of the feet together. You're going to drop the knees out wide in bound angle. So reclining bound angle here. Arms down by your sides, palms face up. Or you can bring your left hand on your heart, right hand on the belly. And just focusing on the breath here. Feel that inhalation and exhalation. Allow the hips to open up here. Feel the spine long against the floor. Just beginning to deepen that breath, coming into that Ujjayi breath, that yogic breath. Beginning to deepen that, so bringing that inhalation in from the base of the spine. Again, rising up, feel the expansion in the rib cage. And then exhaling, keeping that length as we exhale. See if you can make that ocean sound at the back of the throat. Few more breaths here. If at any point your hips start screaming at you, you can always lengthen the legs along the floor again. But keeping connected with that breath. Sometimes I get scared, but I know I'll be safe in your arms. One more nice deep breath here. Exhale, release with a sigh. Bring your hand to underneath your thighs. Guide your knees back up to center. Hug the knees into the chest. Rock from side to side if you need to. Placing the soles of the feet on the floor. Tucking the tailbone towards the heels, so you're bringing that length into the spine, bringing the navel towards the spine. Inhale the right leg up. Interlace your hands just behind the right thigh and just hold there for a moment. Press out through the heel. Feel the length in the back of the leg, hamstring. Just breathe. Waking up the back of the leg. Breathing into that stretch. You can roll the ankle here. So making circles, going one way. And then exhale, rolling the other way. Point the toe up, flex the foot. Point. And then flex. Point. And flex. Good, nice deep inhalation in. And then exhale, slide your hands down the leg towards the ankle and pull that leg gently into the body, gently here. Doesn't have to go very far. It is the morning. Our body is always a bit tighter in the morning. So going again, doing what you can do in your body. Nice deep inhalation in. And on your exhalation, slide the hands back down the leg. Release the hands, bend the right knee, place the right ankle on the left side, and bring your right hand through the legs. Left hand wraps around the thigh. Modified pigeon or reclining pigeon. Okay, you're gonna pull that leg in towards the body. Breathing into that outer hip. If you want a bit of a deeper stretch here, release the hands and wrap them around the shin and then pull the legs a little bit more in. Bring that navel to the spine, shoulders away from the ears, and just gently breathing. Not holding the breath in one particular area of the body. Relaxing your facial muscles, smile through the pose. Letting go of what you need to. Allowing that breath to guide you through the stretch. Nice deep breath. Beautiful. Nice deep inhalation in here. Feel that body lift. Exhale, release the hands. Inhale that right leg back up. Interlace the hands behind that right leg one more time. Press out through the heel, lift the kneecap, really activate that leg. Nice deep inhalation in. Get that rise through the belly and then exhale, release, bring that leg a little bit closer to the body. Notice if you feel a difference. Good. Breathing here. Drop the shoulders away from the ears. Create length in the neck. Space to move the shoulders. Nice deep inhalation in. Exhale, slide the hands back down. You're going to inhale, hug that right knee in, lengthen the left leg out, press out through both heels. And beautiful stretch here. Get that length through the spine. This is a wonderful stretch if you have low back pain. So nice deep inhalation in here. You're going to bring your left hand on your right knee. Right hand arm extends out from the shoulder, palm faces down on the floor, okay? On that exhalation, you're going to twist. So you're bringing that right leg over to the left as far as what's comfortable. Before that right shoulder comes completely off of the ground, okay? You're going to keep that right shoulder and arm grounded here. So your knee does not have to go all the way over to touch the floor. A nice little spinal twist here. Keep pressing out through the left foot. So keeping that leg active. Breathing here. You can take your head and neck to look over the right shoulder if it's comfortable, or just look at the ceiling. Nice deep inhalation in. Exhale back to center. Hug that right leg in one more time. Inhale, bring the left leg up. Hug both legs. Rocking if you need to. Good. Placing that right foot on the ground. Inhale the left leg up this time. Press out through the heel. Interlace those hands behind the left thigh. Press out through the heel. Feel that length through the back of the calf, thigh, getting into that stretch. Again, you don't have to go push it so far here. Just let it come up. Opening first, getting that stretch in. And rolling the ankle here. So rolling one way. And then rolling the opposite way. And point the toe, and then flex the foot. So press out through that heel, and then point, and flex. Point. Notice what you feel as you move the foot back and forth. Good. So pressing out through that heel, bring that length back into the left leg, activate the knee, thighs. Nice deep inhalation in here. Feel that rise in the belly and chest, and then exhale. Let the hands slide down the leg towards the heel. Keep pressing those shoulders away from the ears. Keep that right foot grounded so that the pelvis is stable. Need to have a slight bend in the knees. That's okay. Keep pressing out through that left heel. Feel that stretch. Good. Exhale, slide that hand back down the leg. Bending the knee, placing the left ankle on the right thigh. Reclining pigeon. You're going to take your left hand through the leg. Right hand wraps around the thigh. And then you just gently pull those legs towards the upper body. Getting that outer hip stretch in the left hip. And now really using your breath here. Breathing into that area you feel it the most. And using that exhalation to release it. You can then, if you want to go a little bit further, you can interlace the fingers around the shin and pull gently again with those legs towards the body. And nice deep breaths. Relax the facial muscles, the space in between the eyebrows. Drop the shoulders away from the ears. Lift the heart towards the sky. Find that breath. Nice long inhalation. Nice long exhalation. Good. One more nice deep breath here. And then exhale, release. And inhale that left leg back up. Reach the hands around the thigh. Good. Press out through the left heel, lift the left knee, thigh, nice deep inhalation in. Get that lift, and then exhale, release. Slide the hand down towards the heel. See if the leg comes in a little bit closer to the body, or if there's a little bit different stretch that you're feeling from the first time that we did it. Navel to the spine. Feel the length in the back. Drop the shoulders away from the ears and feel that chest lift towards the sky. Opening up the back of the leg. Beautiful. Nice deep inhalation in. Exhale, slide the hand back. Bend that left knee in. Extend the right leg out along the floor and hug that left knee in. Get that length again in through the spine, through the torso. Drop the shoulders away from the ears. Squeeze them together. Feel that chest lift. Wonderful pose as well for the digestive system. And coming into our twist here. So you keep your right hand on that left knee, extend the left arm out from the shoulder, palm faces down. Nice deep inhalation in, bring the navel to the spine. And then exhale, bring that leg over to the right. Keeping the left shoulder grounded. So only going as far as what's comfortable, but also keeping that shoulder on the ground. Do not let it lift. You can keep your head and neck to look at the sky, or if it's comfortable, turn to look over the left shoulder. Nice, gentle breathing, breathing into that twist. Bringing that mobility into the spine. Giving the internal organs a nice little massage here. Good. Inhale, come back to center, hug the knee into the chest. Bring that right leg up. And then hug both knees. Rock from side to side here. Good. Place both feet on the floor. Rolling to your right side. Bringing your arm underneath your ear for head support. Top arm along your side. Just stay here for a moment. We were down on the ground for a little bit. So just taking a moment here. Nice deep breath in. And then what we're going to do is we're going to exhale the knees into the chest. Drop that top shoulder into a fetal position. Rounding the spine. Getting that stretch. Nice deep inhalation in. Use that top hand to push yourself up on the exhalation. Take the legs away from the upper body. Good. And coming onto your hands and knees. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, tabletop. And navel towards the spine. Let's get into some cat stretches. So we're going to drop that tailbone on the inhalation, round the spine up, drop the head and neck. Exhale, tilt the tailbone, roll, bring the spine in, shoulders in, lift the head and neck. Again, if you're doing opposite to what I'm saying with the breath, that's all good. I just want you to move here with the breath. What's comfortable for you. Remember to pause at the top of the inhalation or exhalation, and then move through. So hold that pose for a moment. Always start with the base of the spine and roll up. So moving here on your own. Just a few cat stretches. Waking up the spine. Wonderful pose if you have any tightness in the back whatsoever. And keep those fingers spread wide. Palms pressing into the ground. Yes. Returning to tabletop. when you're ready. Good. Keep pressing into the hands. You're going to inhale the right leg up from the hip. So out from the hip. Press out through the heel. Point that toe down. Okay. Again, if it just only comes off a little bit off the floor, that's okay. I just don't want it winging out from the hip, like so, okay? So keep it parallel from the hip. Good. Exhale, come down with that leg. Inhale the left leg. So again, press out through that heel. Feel the length in the back of the leg. Navel to spine, so you're engaging your core here. Good. Exhale, bring it down. Back to cat stretch. So inhale, tuck the tailbone, round the spine out, drop the head and neck. Exhale. Good. Finishing up on your last cat stretch, meeting knee and tabletop. And okay, pressing into those hands. We're gonna lift the right arm in on an inhalation. We're gonna, on an exhalation, we're gonna slide it through, coming onto the top of our right shoulder. Okay. So coming into threading the needle. So you can keep your hand at a 90-degree or slide it alongside the ear. If you want a little bit more of a stretch, you can take a bind here by bringing that left arm up and over to reach for the right thigh. So it's going to come behind your back, reaching for that right thigh. So again, whatever is comfortable for you. Breathing here. Breathing into that shoulder stretch. Yes. Nice deep inhalation in. And then exhale. Slide your hand whichever way it was, whether it was alongside the ear or in a bind, bringing it back underneath the shoulder. Staying here for a moment. On your next inhalation, pressing into that left hand, sliding that right arm out, and then you're gonna follow the arm all the way up, following those fingertips to the sky. And then exhale the arm back down. Good. Finding that tabletop just in case it came out. And then from here, we're gonna do the left arm. So nice deep inhalation in, pick that left arm up. And then exhale, slide it through to the right side, coming onto the top of the left shoulder. Okay, knees stay grounded here. From here, you can take that hand, you can leave that right hand at the 90 degrees, slide it alongside the ear, or you can take that bind. So you're gonna bring that hand back behind and reach for that left thigh. Again, doesn't have to touch the left thigh, but you're reaching for the left thigh. Gently close the eyes. And just breathe here. Getting that nice stretch through the outer shoulder. Yeah, nice deep breathing. On your next inhalation or exhalation, slide that hand back behind you so you can either bring it back underneath the shoulder or slide it back underneath the shoulder. Nice deep inhalation in, press into that right hand. Slide that left hand out from underneath, but you're going to bring it all the way up. So right up to the sky, following those fingertips with your head and neck. Hold there for a moment, get that nice little twist. And then exhale down. Beautiful. Okay, you're keeping the knees where they are. Adjust if you need to. But you're gonna keep them hip width apart and exactly where they are. We're gonna walk our hands down into puppy stretch. Okay, so you're sliding those hands in front of the shoulders, bringing that forehead towards the ground and the chest towards the floor, okay? So a nice little puppy stretch here. Breathing in between the shoulder blades. And nice deep breathing here. Feel that chest going towards the floor. One more nice deep breath in. And then exhale, you're gonna bring the front body forward. Okay, coming down onto the belly. We're gonna come into Sphinx pose. So you can kind of adjust the lower body here a little bit. You're gonna activate the legs by pressing the tops of the feet into the floor, thighs into the floor, pubic bone down. We're gonna come into Sphinx pose. So your elbows are underneath your shoulders. You're gonna press through the hands. So fingers spread wide, pressing those palms down, lifting the head and neck, and drawing that chest forward and through the arms. Okay. Breathing here. Drop those shoulders away from the ears. So really ground through those forearms, through those palms of the hands. Press back a little bit with those hands. So you kind of almost feel like the lower body is sliding back. And then you're going to draw that chest forward, shoulder blades together. Little back bend here. Nice deep inhalation in. Feel the lift in the body. Exhale. Feel that front body slide through the arms, releasing any tension between the shoulder blades, opening up the solar plexus. One more nice deep inhalation in here. Feel that lift. Good, and then exhale, release down. One hand on top of the other, forehead on the hands. Nice deep breath in here. Exhale, side out. And hands underneath the shoulders for cobra. So with cobra, we're only coming up with the chest. Okay, diaphragm, ribs, stay on the floor as best we can. Activate those legs. Press those thighs into the ground, pubic bone down to protect the low back. Nice deep inhalation in here. And then press into the hands lightly. Lift the chest up. Shoulders away from the ears. Breathe. Okay, from here you can release the hand and hold that back bend. So you're squeezing those back muscles together, strengthening the spine. Breathing. It's difficult to breathe in this pose, so I feel you. And exhale down. One hand on top of the other. Forehead back down. Nice deep inhalation in. Exhale, release any tension. Good. One more nice deep breath here. Exhale, side out. We're bringing your hands by the ribs this time. So the upper ribs, just underneath the shoulders. Or not underneath the shoulders, but beside the ribs. Press into the tops of the feet, thighs into the floor. Press that pubic bone down, tuck that low back. Nice deep inhalation in here. Slide the shoulder blades away from the ears as you inhale. Press into the hands, lift the upper body this time. So upward facing dog, okay? From here again, we love to hang out in our shoulders. So really press into those hands. Drop the shoulders away from the ears. Lift the heart towards the sky. So bringing the chest through the arms. Feel that spine kind of dangle. Feel that stretch through the torso, through the, not so much the torso, but the diaphragm, the rib cage. Nice deep inhalation in here. And then exhale, slowly lower down. So you're kind of working that upper arm muscle and then slowly lower down. One hand on top of the other. Nice deep inhalation in. Exhale, sigh it out. Let go of anything you no longer need. And on your next inhalation in, we're going to press ourselves up. Bring our sit bones towards our heels. So big toes together, knees wide apart, sit bones towards the heels. And then walk your hands down into extended child's pose. Feel that length through the torso. Sit bones towards the heels. Again, they don't have to touch. Okay. Fingers spread wide, pressing those palms into the floor. Lift the forearms here for a moment and slide the shoulder blades down the back. Get that length through the spine. Navel towards the spine. Create that space for the belly. Forehead on the floor. Nice deep inhalation in. Create that length. So you're pressing those palms into the floor, feeling the shoulder blades slide down the back, squeezing together. On that exhalation, lower the forearms, releasing any tension. And then just breathe here. Noticing what you feel. Nice deep inhalation in. And then exhale, walk the hands back up towards the body. Knees together, coming to sit on the heels. Yeah, again, if it's too much, you can always slide a blanket underneath the knees just to take the pressure off of the knee joint. Okay, arms down by your sides. You're going to inhale the arms up overhead. Interlace the fingers, roll the wrists out, press the palms up towards the sky. Navel towards the spine, and you're dropping the shoulders away from the ears, lifting the heart up. You're going to sit back in your sit bones. So sometimes when we do this, we create a back bend because we're lifting so much through the front body to bring those arms back. We're going to slightly tuck the tailbone here. So I don't know if you can see it, but you're going to slightly tuck the tailbone so that you lengthen the spine. And once we do that, often our shoulders kind of go back naturally. Okay, so you create a little bit more space in that rib cage. So you're slightly sitting back on those heels a little bit, just feeling that stretch through the torso. Nice deep inhalation in. Get that lift through the spine. And then exhale, release the arms. We're going to bring the right hand down. You're going to inhale the left arm up over the head. Keeping the sit bones grounded. Good, only going as far as what's comfortable. Beautiful. You're going to come up with the lift of the chest. So we're really going to use that arm. Inhale, engage that core. Come up with the lift of the chest. Bring that right arm up alongside the ear. Exhale the left side down. Good. Pressing up through that right sit bone, feeling it grounded there. Feeling that stretch to the right side of the body. Keep opening up your heart so we're not falling forward in the chest, but opening up. Good. Keeping that nice length, that nice lift through the chest. Inhale, come up with the lift of the chest. Exhale, other side. Good. Inhale, come up. Exhale, left side. And that nice stretch. Inhale. Last time. Exhale to the right. Inhale. Then exhale. Good. Inhale all the way up, arms down by your sides. This time, you're going to interlace the fingers behind the back. Roll those shoulders down the back. Okay? Try and keep your palms together. If they come apart, that's okay. But you're pressing the hands down, pressing the shoulders back, lifting that heart. This is a little bit of a back bend here. Okay, nice deep inhalation in. Get that lift, and then we're going to exhale, fold forward. Okay, so you're going to fold forward to what's comfortable for you. Okay, but you can keep going until you get even to your forehead. You can stay here, bring those shoulders back. You can also roll onto the top of the head, bringing those arms back. Navel to spine. Breathe. Again, wherever's comfortable, but take those arms back. Nice deep inhalation in. And then exhale, coming out the same way you went in, nice and slow. Release the hands. Squeeze the wrists a little bit if you need to. Coming up on the hands and knees. Bringing those hands a little bit ahead of the shoulders, tucking those toes under, bringing the sit bones back towards the heels. Nice deep inhalation in, downward facing dog. You're gonna come up high on the toes, lifting those heels. You can have a slight bend in the knee to bring that length into the spine as you bring the chest towards the thighs. Okay, press the palms into the floor. Shoulder blades slide down the back, high on the toes, and then exhale the heels towards the floor. Good. Breathing here. And from here, we're gonna reach our right hand towards our left ankle or thigh. And then you're gonna look over the left shoulder or through the left side, I should say. Good, release that right hand down, placing it back where it needs to go. And then inhale the left arm back to reach for the right leg. Again, looking through the right side of the body, getting a little twist here. And exhale, release. Right back to your downward dog. Nice deep inhalation in. And then exhale, come down, hands and knees. Good. You can bring, knees together, arms down by your sides in child's pose, or you can have the big toes together, knees apart, one hand on top of the other, forehead on the hands, or you can have the arms down by your sides. You can even place them on your low back. So whichever child's pose is comfortable for you, do that one now. One more nice deep inhalation in. Exhale, sigh it out. Inhale. Get that lift, and then exhale, roll up one vertebrae at a time. Beautiful. Slide, swing the legs around the body, coming to sit. Good. All right, from here, we're gonna lie back down, getting ready for Shavasana. Hugging the knees into the chest, rocking from side to side if needed. And then from here, you're gonna grab either the inner arches of the feet or even the outer pinky toe side of the foot, whatever's easier for you to do. And then you're gonna drop those knees down outside the torso in happy baby. And then just gently let those knees go towards the floor. Lengthening the spine, opening up the hips. Nice deep breathing here. One more nice breath in. Exhale, release. Hug the knees one more time if needed. And then extend one leg and then the next. Tucking the shoulders under. Feeling that heart lift towards the sky. Arms down by your sides. You have your palms facing up. Or you can bring your hands even on the belly or one hand on your heart center. Right hand on the navel. But allowing the upper arms, if you're doing that, to come to the floor, okay, so that they're supported. You don't want them in the air trying to hold on to the arms, okay? Let go. So once you've kind of found that adjustment, if there's any last stretch or movements you need to do, please do that. Take your legs hip width apart, and then allow the feet to follow to the sides. Allowing the thighs, hamstrings to relax. Softening the legs into the floor. Bring your awareness to your sit bones, hips. And on that exhalation, soften them. Release them into the earth. Bring your awareness to the belly, the abdomen, relaxing the core, the internal organs, allowing them to take that rest. Bringing our awareness to the solar plexus. Softening that area with your exhalation. Bringing your awareness to your heart. Letting go of any stress, anxiety. Allowing the shoulders to be supported into the earth. Allow the arms to become heavy. Relax the hands and the fingertips. Softening the throat. Releasing the tongue away from the roof of the mouth. Slightly parting the teeth and relaxing the jaw. Relaxing the cheekbones, softening them. Allowing the eyes to fall back into the sockets. Bringing your gaze inwards and downwards towards the heart. Softening the space in between the eyebrows. And letting go. Letting go of the thoughts that arise in the mind. Bringing a light through the crown of the head, lengthening the back of the neck. Staying connected with the breath. Allowing the body to absorb what it needs from your practice. And letting go of what no longer serves you. Keeping that stillness and quietness within. Take a nice deep inhalation in here. Exhale, side out. Wiggling the toes, fingers. Stretching in any way you need to stretch. Bringing the legs back together. Sliding the feet up so the soles of the feet are on the floor. And then rolling to your right side for relaxation, left side for energy. Top arm along your side, bottom arm along the ear to support the head. Gently keeping the eyes closed. Staying here for a moment. And then using that top hand to push yourself up, rolling up one vertebrae at a time, coming to a nice seated position. Keeping your hands in front of your heart. Just being here for a moment, connecting with the breath. Notice what you feel. The mind and the body. Just keeping that peace within the rest of the day, the rest of the week. If any stress or anxiety arises in the body and the mind throughout the week, throughout the day, come back to your breath. Allow the breath to guide you through any situation. Taking that nice deep inhalation in, taking in what you need, and then exhale, letting go of what no longer serves you. Rubbing the hands together. Bringing your hands over your eyes. Feeling that warmth or coolness. One more nice deep inhalation in here. Taking in what you need. And then exhale, side out. Opening up the hands, eyes and the hands. Just rubbing the face, waking yourself back up. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. Hope you have a lovely Sunday. May you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be loved. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.